when I start working with a new client, this is a long term partnership that we're going to be developing. And so I like to start with an initial foundational assessment, getting a sense about what are the policies and procedures that are already in place to address safety in the workplace or manage threats that come into your environment, and who's a part of that process. So I like to talk to a number of the stakeholders, whether that's in HR, that's in risk management, your security offices, or even just general operations. And that gives me a great understanding about what's working, where are the gaps, and where are the places that I can support you in moving towards your goals of having safety be a priority. Once we're there, it's also really thinking about the long-term plans for how we're going to roll out and communicate the things that you're going to be changing and addressing within the environment. I really like to be able to keep our teams and your employees in the know about how you're moving forward to make it a safer workplace. And part of that is really looking at how we're communicating out some of the interventions and the things that we're going to be changing over the next couple of months or even a year. About a year ago, a COO of an organization looked at me and said, "Look, we have a threat management program. It checks the boxes, but a lot of people don't really think that we need it." And over the last year of working with them, just last month, that same COO came to me and said, our employers are actually staying with us at a time when there is a mass exodus or a need to find other jobs. And they don't want to leave because they know that they feel safe working at this organization. So I spent the last year partnering with them. Their employee base is about 10,000 employees within a facility, but they operate both remotely and in person. And we're really addressing how their approach is to workplace safety. So, one of the pieces that we looked at is we tried to see, do they have all the compliance pieces there? Are all of the components to address the compliance checked off? Yes, they are. Does that mean that the employees feel safe? No, it doesn't mean that. So we spent time embedding safety discussions into regular team meetings, working through real scenarios within their industry, and talking about all of the areas and real conversations about the gray areas, the things that maybe aren't explicitly those pieces of threat, but should be reported. One of the things that I noticed with the employees feeling safer is it allowed them to focus on also becoming more productive within their work. They're not focused on, am I feeling protected or safe in this workplace? Their safety needs are addressed by communication, feeling trust, and hearing about the proactive measures that are being taken on a regular basis rather than only hearing from leadership at the end of a significant incident. And so they're allowed to say, our organization has our backs. And so I'm going to have their back. I'm going to invest in continuing to do the work that I'm doing at an efficient and high level. And that's huge because that means that you're not losing out on employees, you're not experiencing that employee turnover, and you're maintaining that productivity level even as incidents are happening and potentially impacting your organization. And so one of the things that I saw over the last couple of months is how we shifted the leadership's engagement in this process. Instead of waiting for incidents or following up after an incident happened, we established these monthly leadership debriefs to discuss the patterns and talk about early warning signs and how we can adjust our process when those gray area situations hit us. And they turned into strategy sessions. They turned into places where leaders can actually voice their concerns before they became a crisis, and we could strategize and become proactive. And some of the things that we saw were we had a number of incidents that did not rise to the level of a workplace violence incident, did not make headlines because we had these things already in place and strategies to be able to address these, and employees reporting concerns way earlier than they were before. If you're thinking we should probably look at our approach to threat management, you're right. But here's the thing, building teams isn't about following a template. It's about understanding your unique culture and risks in it. I want to talk through this and see what this looks like for your organization. I've got time blocked specifically for strategy calls with leaders ready to be proactive about safety. Just click the link below to grab 30 minutes of my time.